When visiting a zoo, most people know little more than what they experience. The majesty of the exotic animals and the cuteness of a few comedians stand out as you roam the grounds.
You know, it's beautiful weather and they like to see the animals, and it's a great zoo given the size of it for children this age to look around and be able to get up close and personal.
It's easy to become fixated on the animals with little thought to the backstory and the challenges wildlife agencies, and other conservation organizations face. Heritage Park Zoological Sanctuary in Prescott has developed a strong partnership with Arizona Game and Fish to help native wildlife.
Game and Fish has played an incredible role in the development of Heritage Park Zoo. The working relationship that we have with them obviously lends us to be able to take in some of the rescue animals that they find, confiscations that they find. So over the past 27 years, we've blossomed into about 209 animals that are here on grounds, part of the collection, and another 250 rescue animals that we do annually, usually between that baby time, May and October.
The zoo relies heavily on volunteers and donations to meet its needs and receives no city, state, or federal funding. Even so, Heritage Park serves the role without compensation as the department's unofficial wildlife triage center in the Tri-City area. They often take in rescued animals and even find appropriate facilities to house them if they can't be released back into the wild. Region 3 Wildlife Manager Virginia Gouldsbury explains.
These posters here are good examples of the different rescues that they've done for us since we started the partnership. This is one where I brought in 2 bear cubs in 2012 that were orphaned, and they had been without their mother for over 24 hours. So in this picture, after I brought them in, this is only one of them, but they're triaging it and making sure that the bear has fluids and everything that it needs. This was kind of an interesting year because actually within a span of a couple of months, the zoo had taken in 7 orphan bear cubs from ranging in different ages and housed all 7 here at the zoo until other facilities could be found. They ended up actually keeping one. They named it Augustus, and that one is currently on display at the zoo.
Oh, then we'll let him do it. You want to help Jerry?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll take this bald eagle first. Just grab that and just pull it out to you.
Yep.
There you go.
The 2 of you.
Montana, a bald eagle, along with golden eagle Tika, were both transferred from the Game and Fish Wildlife Center at Adobe Mountain to their new and permanent home at Heritage Park in 2013. The eagles had both sustained injuries that made them non-releasable. Most of the native wildlife here has come from similar situations, where either injuries or prolonged interaction with humans have made it impossible for them to survive on their own.
Almost all of the birds of prey, that's all of the raptors that we have here, have come from Game and Fish. Our mountain lion, I would say probably 80% of what we have has come from Game and Fish or state agency awards for animals that could no longer be released out in the wild. Even our alligator, we have 2 baby alligators. They have come from Game and Fish as pets that were confiscated. So yes, almost all the animals here.
Because of Heritage Park's reputation as a sanctuary, they also take in exotic animals from other facilities that can no longer care for them.
So the wallabies, for example, that we have here, the cute little wallabies, they came from a zoo up north that could no longer be opened. So in the closing of that zoo, they had many surplus animals that needed to have homes. So we're very proud and lucky that we're able to continue taking in those animals and having room for them for the remainder of their lives.
Every animal here has a story. Cassie, the Bengal tiger, is one of Heritage Park's main attractions, but she was almost put to death before the zoo rescued her.
Cassie and her 2 brothers up in a zoo in Nebraska that was closing down that were scheduled to be euthanized. Again, as luck would have it, we had an opening. Pam went home, told her husband Brian, we're going on a road trip, hook up the horse trailer, and off to Nebraska they went. Picked up Cassie and her 2 brothers. Our enclosure is only big enough for 1 tiger, plus they're solitary cats, but we Sent the two brothers up to the Keepers of the Wild up in Valentine, Arizona, which are doing extremely well as well too.
Yes, we're happy to hear you.
So she's 9 years old now.
Bless you.
Heritage Park Zoo is a quaint, small zoo by comparison to large zoos. We pride ourselves on being a sanctuary, and that's really what we are. All the animals here are of a sanctuary, in need of sanctuary for long-term housing. Unlike traditional zoos where they usually curate a certain area of population of animals, we develop what we have based on what comes in and what needs a home. So we're a little bit of both. We're still open to the public, just like your traditional zoos, but yet all of our animals are sanctuary animals. So we're very unique in that. There are very few sanctuary zoos that operate like that.
Heritage Park also has a prestigious role as a participant in the American Zoo and Aquarium Association's Species Survival Plan for the endangered Mexican gray wolf. After a 20-year absence in the wild, the animal is being reintroduced to its former range following a successful captive breeding program, and the sanctuary serves as a holding facility for wolves not currently ready for release. Then there is Kiwanis Corner, a special area of the zoo that allows the public to get a hands-on experience with domestic livestock. Teaching children how to respect and to interact with animals will help them become better wildlife stewards in the future. And with our state becoming more and more urbanized, this may be one of the few times these kids have an opportunity to brush a goat. The sanctuary also provides educational outreach programs and a hotline number the public can call to help deal with nuisance wildlife issues in the Prescott area.
Having a partner like the zoo is, I mean, it's huge. They have saved, just in this area with the officers here, they've probably, over the last couple of years, saved us thousands of man-hours in either answering people's questions over the phone or going on injured wildlife calls for us where, you know, there's a lot of organizations and facilities that do those kinds of things in the bigger cities like Tucson and Phoenix. And here in smaller rural areas like the Prescott area, we don't really have those things.
So this is little charity.
We do. We have outreach programs that we do. I think this year so far we've had over 220 outreach programs. That goes as far as Tuba City and as far south as Anthem, to Sholo, to Kingman, to Holbrook, and then of course right here in the Quad City area.
Emma, can you come over here? We can go up this way, okay?
Conservation through education. That's their motto, and it's a mission they service with pride. As many of the wild places of the planet are disappearing and zoos have become the last sanctuary for much of the world's wildlife, Heritage Park Zoological Sanctuary offers a home for animals that have no other.